Let the sun be stricken from the sky. May every smile be taken from the face of babes and the sound of their laughter drained from your memory. May every film star Jai Courtney and every song be sung by Mr. Blobby and all your food be cooked by a drunken first-year student. For there is no reason to celebrate anymore, for Aardman have made a completely average film. The greatest animation studio in the world, makers of the multi-Oscar winning duo Wallace and Gromit, makers of Shaun the Sheep, the greatest movie for ankle biters the world has ever known. Hell, they even made those weird dancing chickens in the legendary video for Peter Gabriel in his song Sledgehammer. So, when they descend from Mount Film Olympus with their latest divine creation, how am I supposed to deal with the fact that it's just okay? It's not like that time they did The Great Escape with chickens, or when they made a vegetarian horror movie in Curse of the Were-Rabbit. It's the sports movie. You know, the only sports movie that ever gets made, plucky underdogs trying to save the thing that needs saving by taking on the big bad who have absolutely no chance of defeating, training montage, blah 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 blah, you know the rest. I mean, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, it's just that it's the sports movie, but set in the Stone Bronze Age. They've also done the DreamWorks thing of getting loads of celebrities to do the voices instead of getting actual, you know, voice actors in to do the voice acting. Thus we have Eddie Redmayne playing the main character Doug with his pet wild boar, voiced by director, producer and legendary stop motion animator Nick Park, Maisie Williams playing Guna and playing a damn sight better than anyone would put on the pitch in Seasons, and Tom Hiddleston as Lord Knuth doing the best French accent this side of Monty Python.
I'm French! Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
As well as loads of English comedians who had an afternoon free. And like most of Aardman's films, this one is English down to a cup of tea. The match around all which revolves is football. That's proper football, not whatever the colonial barbarians have done to the beautiful game of rugby, and I'm not sure that the gags and references are going to travel that well. That said though, I'm fairly certain that a 50-foot high man-eating duck is going to travel pretty well. I mean, there's still plenty to like here, the gag rate's pretty high, and there's enough stuff you won't catch to make rewatches rewarding, but as someone who's not particularly into sports, I didn't find that much to recommend. There are too many characters, meaning nobody has time to breathe and develop, and I could set my watch by the plot, and it just didn't look very inventive. Oh, and if you're reading a political subtext into a small group of British people who live in a giant crater cut off from the outside world, the prologue identifies their location as near Manchester, being invaded and thrown out of their home by a group of Europeans with a blue and yellow flag, which they then attempt to take back control of, you can stop that right away. First, because this film has been in production since June 2007, and secondly, the Europeans are more cultured and sophisticated. Doug and his tribe are fighting to take back control by reconnecting with their past, you could say, but their lack of engagement with the outside world has made them backward, and a late revelation about ancestral cave paintings, which are treated as sacred texts, suggests identity myths are not all they're cracked up to be. And finally, it's a film with a 50-foot man-eating duck. Instead, I choose to read it as a metaphor for a small British animation studio that was doing fine, being overrun by an overbearing American studio and trying to regain the independence to use old-fashioned storytelling and unassuming comedy. The independence to use stop motion, which on a good day will give you 3 seconds of animation as opposed to CGI films, which can be churned out in 2 to 3 year cycles. I did enjoy it and chuckled along with a few jokes, but when 15 minutes in, the light of my life turns to me and asks how long this 89-minute film is, you know that it's not a classic. Early Man is fun, but knocking it down to a game of 5-a-side instead of 2 teams of 11 might have helped the film out. The stop motion is beyond perfect, and you're not going to be bored, but this is a serious downgrade in quality from a studio that usually produces amazing timeless classics. Watch it with your football-obsessed 7-year-old and they'll have a fine old time whilst it doesn't harm you. I just hope next year's Shaun the Sheep movie 2, Farmageddon, is a return to the studio's amazing level of quality. What a missed opportunity. It's if nothing else is on, yeah, go and check this out. Otherwise, just don't bother. But what did you guys think? And what is your favourite sports movie? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, it's been a dunking. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe.